For the first project, we'll need a micro USB plug, one white diode and a 100 ohms resistor. First of all, let us take the plug apart and carefully take out the micro USB. It's worth mentioning that the micro and mini plugs differ a lot, and it's not just about the size. There's also an additional terminal. In case if your plug has 5 contacts instead of 4 as in my case, don't worry, here's a pinout. You can easily figure out what components have to be connected and where. At this point, we have to connect the resistor to the positive terminal. In turn, we need to solder the anodes of the diodes to the resistor. The LED has both positive and negative terminals. The plus is the anode, and negative is the cathode. Let us solder the cathode to the negative terminal of the plug. In the end, let us whittle down the LED for it to fit in the case. Thanks to such a GOI flashlight, you'll not need to risk your smartphone's LED flash, because each time you use the phone's flash instead of a flashlight, it overheats, and after some time it may even break down. But our little flashlight will work up until the battery runs out. If yours is still working, then I advise you to use the micro USB plug another way. Take apart the plug case that you don't use, or buy one and smash it. Cut off the excess wires, leaving only small pieces. Now let us solder the big plug to the micro USB plug. The red wire is a positive, the white wire is a negative, green one is a plus, and the black one is a minus. In the end, let us customize the case and fit in all the components. And so we've got such a great smartphone adapter. With the help of such a DIY adapter, you'll be able to use regular memory sticks with your smartphone. But before using, find out is your device compatible with this kind of feature. So I think such an adapter will help you out at work or school. For instance, if you urgently need to view documents stored on your memory stick and you don't have a tablet or a laptop at hand, you'll be able to view them on your smartphone instead. The last idea should help you out in case if your earphones broke down. In case if you tore your earphone cable out of the input plug, not a problem, you can substitute the outer case with such a needle adapter. All you need to do is just carefully take the needle out and drill a hole of the same diameter as the diameter of your cable. In the end, we will solder the wires to the input plug and carefully slide the syringe adapter case onto it. That's it! So guys, today's video is over. Thank you very much for watching the video till the end. It's how to make a DIY smartphone or tablet holder from plastic bottle caps. There's hardly a single thing we haven't yet tried to make from plastic bottles. We've made very useful DIY projects and maybe less useful too. And now's the time to rise to a new level, that's why today we'll melt bottle caps into something new. First of all, we'll need an old yet in working condition blender. Otherwise, your mom or your wife will probably throw you out of the house. Let's fill the container with plastic caps and let's get started. In case if your blender is weak like mine, it gets stuck and the motor often overheats, it's better for you to cut the caps into pieces beforehand. As a result, you'll get such beautiful multicolored particles that look like candy, but they're not. Oh well. Now let's heat the material in an oven preheated to 220 Celsius for roughly 5 to 10 minutes. While the plastic particles are being heated, let's wrap the smartphone in plastic foil because soon we'll be using a rotary tool, it'll be dusty and we'll be getting measures and so on. Finally, the bottle cap cake is ready. Time to tear off the wrap and bend the edges of the cake with a vise. Initially I planned to make a smartphone case, but the plastic came into reaction with the heat not as I expected. Because of that, I decided to make a holder instead. If you like the idea of melting plastic bottle caps into something new, let me know in the comments and we'll be doing this together. Thus we'll be clearing out our planets, our cities, collecting plastic bottles and plastic bottle caps. In the next video I wanna show how to make a pen from plastic bottle caps. So, in the end, let us make 2 cuts that will fit the size of the smartphone with the help of a rotary tool. Let us also smooth out the rough edges with the help of a rotary tool and a piece of sandpaper. By the way, to smooth out the surface after operating with a rotary tool and give the surface nice shine, we will heat the case with a heat gun. So guys, we finished off our DIY plastic holder made from plastic bottle caps. And the first thing I would like to note is that it's made from waste materials that's literally scattered all over. The second thing worth mentioning is the design. It's unusual but quite pretty. The surface is almost marble-like, more like multicolored marble-like surface. And the third thing, it's a pretty good first-time result. How to make a portable USB charger to charge your phone, tablet or camera, for example for when you are outdoors. So, we take 2 9-volt batteries. One should be good and another may be used. All the parts will go in the box. You may choose any box you've got, but I took one from Candies. We also need a switch. I removed it from an old cassette player. You may also remove it from some old player or broken toys. The main thing here is the USB car charger. We can find it for around $1 to $3. And we're going to connect everything with the help of copper wires. First of all, we will prepare the battery terminal. If you have some old toys where 9-volt batteries were used, you may remove the battery cap and use it as it is. But if you don't, you can make one like this. Now we take the charger apart. Then we connect everything in series via the switch. There's always plus and minus pole marks on the batteries. So when we place the cap, we see that yellow wire is connected to plus and red is the minus. The charger has a more simple system. The central spring is always a plus, and on the side there's a minus. Our portable charger is almost ready. We just need to place it in the box. The scheme is quite simple, hope you won't have any trouble with it. Now, yellow central wire is connected to the plus. I passed it through the switch and connected to the plus pole of the battery, and the red wire is connected to the minus. That's it, let's test our portable charger. We connect the battery. And we may see that there's still some space for a backup battery. As we see, the light is on. Connect our wire. So, depending on the battery of the phone and quality of the 9-volt, we may charge our phone about 25 to 50%, just enough for a couple of important calls. Same goes for the camera and all other stuff. How to decorate the back of your phone with a DIY picture or a photo pattern at home. Today we will decorate one of our older devices, an old Samsung Galaxy. I chose this phone because it's in terrible condition, and the cover began to come off. Since it wants to go so badly, let us remove it completely with a knife or a piece of sandpaper. Looks pretty good. Now we take a package of heat transfer paper. We can find it in almost any printer-related shop. There are different types of it, for wood, leather or cloth, as in our case. They even differ for dark and white cloth. The sheet itself is made up of 2 layers. The first layer is a thin cover, and the second layer is regular paper. Now we load up the paper into our printer in such a way so as to print the image on the thin glossy cover. Now we open Photoshop and make a file for our mobile phone's back size. In my case, it is 6 cm wide and 10 cm high. Now let us drag the photo, size it up and print it. Before transferring the image, we need to remove all the oily handprints. Besides, it is dusty after sanding, and because of oily prints, the image may not be transferred properly. Now let us cut out the image. You can cut it out like me, or you can cut around the image and leave a few millimeters till the edges. Place the cover on a firm surface, so it shouldn't get distorted. Now set the iron on 3 and start ironing for about a minute. Guys, I don't know what plastic your phone's cover is made from, but as we see in my case, the ironing process is going well. And the plastic doesn't seem to melt or twist, but be careful nonetheless. Just a few seconds and we will see the result. So guys, what do you think? Looks pretty cool. We just need to spray a thin layer of polish and enjoy our DIY project. How to make a GOI VR headset at home on the cheap. We will need a single piece of cardboard for our project. Make sure to use single wall cardboard, because double or triple is not easy to work with. And besides, the goggles will turn out oversized. First of all, we need to print out the templates of our headset. The download link is in the video description. Now let us glue the templates to the cardboard and start cutting. This process is quite long, so don't run out of patience. By the way, as you may have noticed, I've cut out all the links, because we'll be using hot glue. Now let's work on the template. So now it's time to make the lenses. Since it's a DIY project, we will need DIY lenses as well. We will use a plastic bottle and a bottle cap. Let us place the cap onto the shoulder of the bottle and trace the cap around it. Now cut out by the line. We will have 4 blanks, and we should stick 2 blanks at a time. And of course we need to seal the lenses with a soldering iron. Then inject some tap water into the lenses with a syringe and seal the lenses again. Let's try them out. Works well. Now let's glue everything into place. Before testing out our goggles, we need to open Play Market and install an app called Google Cardboard, or you can install any other mobile VR app. You can simply type VR into your search box and find lots of interesting apps. So, the DIY virtual reality goggles, made from useless items lying around your house, works perfectly. The only thing you might need to adjust is the distance between your eyes and the lenses. Well, if you liked our video, make sure to click the thumbs up and share it, thus supporting us to upload more awesome videos and make them more interesting. How to make a DIY silicone phone case. Or we also might call it a bumper case. You can make one not just for a mobile phone, but also for tablets or small cameras. Benefits of using a bumper case are somewhat apparent, like protecting our devices from scratches, cracks, and so on. Well, to make our phone case, we will need the cheapest and simplest construction silicone. You can probably find a tube like this in most construction shops. We also need a pair of gloves, which you can buy at a drugstore, and also a bag of potato starch and a knife. Consider doing all of this outdoors, but since it's winter, I can imagine that not everybody wants to work outside. So let's at least do it in a well-ventilated room. Or if that's not an option, use a respirator. First of all, let's put on the gloves. pour out some starch onto the table. Squeeze out some silicone. And mix it well. Here's what we should get. Looks like plasticine. And maybe some fishermen might say that it looks like fishing bait. Then we should knead it well to get a thin flat piece. Now put the phone in the middle, press it down, then fold the edges. What's left now is to wait until the silicone dries. About 12 hours have passed. As we see, the silicone is firm enough, so take the phone out of the case. We can see some marks inside the case. They outline the shape of the phone's buttons, camera, and earphones input. So now we take a knife and carefully cut by the lines. In the end, take a piece of sandpaper, smooth out the rough edges, and give a finishing touch with some raw silicone. So guys, our silicone phone case is ready. We can dye it in our favorite color, but I'd suggest to add some dye when mixing silicone with starch. Thus, we will get the color we want at the start. And I must point out that this is not really a way to save some cash, but rather a kind of a roundabout. For instance, if you have an unusually shaped or sized phone or tablet, thereby you can't find the right sized case, or you just can't buy one due to unique circumstances. This method will be an excellent way out. And again, if it's your first time making such a phone case, we might get some uneven surfaces. Like in my case, it's not perfect as well. And my phone is broken, so I used it just to show an example. In case of yours turns out not so great, not a problem. You can use it in the garage, or maybe other messy workplaces. Our silicone case protects the phone very nicely. It has quite a thick layer and cushions the mobile phone well if it falls. Being able to control stuff remotely is nice, so why don't we turn our smartphone into a universal remote control for a variety of electrical appliances? Let's get started! To make our remote we will need some heat shrink tubes, a mobile phone, one headphone mini jack, 2 infrared diodes, a sheet of sandpaper, some flux, solder, and a soldering iron. First of all, we need to grind down the sides of our diodes. Now we glue the diodes together. Then let's bend the contacts, shorten them, and solder the anode from one diode to the cathode from another. And do the same thing with the other two contacts, cathode to anode. Now we solder our diodes to the left and right channels of our jack. Polarity doesn't matter in this case. So guys, our handy remote is ready. Now's the right time to test it. Connect our device and go to Play Market to find an app which can help us turn our smartphone or a tablet into a remote control for TVs, cameras, air conditioners and so on. Unfortunately, most of the free apps don't work. And I went through some effort to find a free app that can be applied to my TV and camera. But today's video is over. Thank you very much for watching, liking and sharing. And of course, tell me what you'd like me to show in the next video. Stay safe, see you in the next video. How to make a simple portable power bank. So, to make one, we will need a soldering iron, some flux, some solder, a 9-volt battery, a connector, USB socket, one L7805 regulator, and of course a container to fit it all. Our regulator has 3 contacts. The first one is input, the second one is ground, and the third one is output. L7805, it's 05 because the output signal will equal 5 volts. First of all, we will solder the output or the right contact to the plus of our USB connector. After that, we need to solder the middle contact to the socket's minus. Now we connect the plus from our battery connector to the first paw of our regulator, the input, and the connector's minus goes to the regulator's second contact, thus connecting it to the minus and the ground. Now let's assemble our nuts and bolts into the tic-tac box. So guys, our mini portable power bank is ready. Let's try it out. First, let's connect the battery and plug the USB cable in. Take a closer look. It's charging. Of course, we can't fully charge our cell phone, but it can be very useful when in need of an emergency recharge. A great idea on how to make a gaming steering wheel for your mobile device. I think that such a gadget will brighten up your spare time and your gaming experience. So, what's needed to make our racing wheel? First, we'll need a couple of wooden sticks, 4 pieces of firm copper wire, one 27 cm long, and 3 pieces, 21 cm long. Also, we need a piece of carton, 20 by 10, and a glue gun as well. First, we band together 2 shorter wires and a long wire, somewhere in the middle. We can use pliers to make it easier. Just like that. Well guys, we have one piece ready. Now, do the same thing with the other wire. Then, we glue our bent wires to the carton base, upright. The first one is ready, now the second one. It's time to make a holder for our mobile device. We will need our wooden sticks and our mobile phone. Firstly, put it on the wooden stick, right in the middle. Use scissors to cut pieces of another wooden stick and glue them on the sides, up front and on the back. We've got such a holder. Take the longest wire and pass it through. Then bend it at both ends. Now we take our holder and carefully glue it right in the center. In conclusion, let's make our wheel. As I think driving without a steering wheel is not very fun. We will make our steering wheel from the last piece of wire. To make it circular, we will use something that's already round. I'm going to use a small piece of pipe. Take the wire and bend it around the pipe. Bending, bending. And now we bend the extending piece inward. It should look like that. Our racing wheel is almost ready. Now, pass it through this piece of wire and glue it roughly crosswise, using our glue gun. Apply some glue on top and in the center. It has to dry a bit, and then we'll apply some more glue underneath. That's all, guys! Our mini gaming wheel for a mobile phone is ready. Thank you for watching and, of course, testing this build. Also, don't forget to press thumbs up. It would mean a world to me if you share this video. Or just leave a fun comment. Stay safe, see you in the next video. How to make a mini 3D cinema using a cell phone or a tablet. Well, in order to make our cinema, we need a glue gun, 2 DVD or CD boxes, stationary knife and a ruler. It's better to use a metal one. And we surely need a video with a special animation. You can download it for free using the link in the description. Well, guys, let's get to work. Firstly, we have to disassemble the boxes. We are not going to use these black pieces. Now, we need to remove these stripes. Take a ruler and put it on the box. Make a notch to break the piece off. We should also make a line in the middle of each square and break them in half. Now we have these 3 blanks. The 4th one is unfortunately broken, but it wasn't useful anyway. We have finished our preparations. So let's start assembling. To be more accurate, we need to glue it all together using hot glue. And now what we need to do is to play the video, which you can download using the links in the description. When you start the application, you'll see these 3 numbers. You should align each piece of plastic to the corresponding line. For example, the first one, the second one, and the third one. We are going to connect them with each other, using the stripes we've made before. Of course, with the help of a glue gun. Well guys, our mini 3D cinema is ready. Let's test it. First, play the video on your cell phone or tablet, then put our 3D screen on it and watch from a distance. Lately, such a gadget called Click Quick button became quite popular. It's a simple button which can be connected to a cell phone or a tablet, and it's meant to be inserted into the headphones input. It can be programmed for certain actions. For example, if you press the button once, flashlight will be turned on. If you press twice, calculator will be opened, and so on. It can be programmed for any application in a mobile phone. So guys, this gadget is not very expensive at online stores. But it's not always about the money. So I tried to make it myself and succeeded. That's why I'm going to share this idea with you today. In order to make a handmade Click Quick button, we need, of course, a glue gun, a solderer, some heat shrink sleeve, a tech switch that we are going to solder out from an old circuit board. We also need a 3.5mm mini jack, multimeter and of course a mobile phone or a tablet. First of all, let's make some preparations. We need to solder out the tech switch and then disassemble the mini jack. The switch has 4 poles, so we need to define which of them are in use. That's why we need a multimeter. Switch it to resistance, connect, and press. These 2 poles are working, as they lock when pressing. We cut off the other 2 poles. The next stage is assembling. As you may notice, there's 4 contacts. This is mass, a microphone port, and left and right channels. We need to solder the switch to the mass and the microphone port. As we don't need the upper contacts, we are going to cut them off with the help of nippers, to free some space for the switch. We apply a few drops of super glue, so the connector won't break apart in the headphones input. Well guys, our Click Quick button is ready. Let's test it. Firstly, we need to download an application. We enter the Play Market and type in Click. This is the program we need. Install it. Open it. Insert our Click Quick button into the headphones input. Press OK. Then skip. Now let's assign what the button will do. Let's make so that 1 click will open the flashlight. 2 clicks will turn on the camera. And 3 will open the voice recorder. Quit the application. Block the phone and test. If we press the button once, the flashlight will turn on. As we pushed it, the flashlight turned on. Push it one more time, and it turns off. The camera should turn on when we press 2 times. 1, 2. Camera is on. As you remember, we've programmed the voice recorder to turn on when we press the button 3 times. Let's say that you're at a job interview and you need to use the recorder without being noticed and record the conversation. For this purpose, we just put a hand into the pocket and press 3 times. We hear a signal. Now let's unblock the phone and check what's going on there. As you may see, it's already working for 9 seconds. Well guys, today's video has come to an end. If you liked my idea of making a handmade click push button, press like on this video and share it with your friends. I'm sure that they will also enjoy our channel. More likes, more interesting ideas. See you in the next video.